Hi guys, and welcome to the investment video, the Pokemon video you've been waiting for. It's myself and at Baseset Tom speaking about E-Series today.
And for some reason, we said the intro like a robot, but we're not calling it the investment videos anymore. We're calling it Trading Card Talk, is it, that we've renamed the series?
Trading Card Talk, okay.
Just because we made a thumbnail that looked fun on the last one, so we've renamed the series. But yeah, we're talking about Expedition, Aquapolis, and Skyridge.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. I think maybe we should start with, and this is not financial advice.
No.
We are just, especially on these ones.
Trading Card Talk.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, I don't really own any E-Series. Tom definitely doesn't. So like this is just our opinions on the sets, isn't it? And like our general feelings.
Yeah, I feel like now I've got these glasses though, I am Crystal Tom.
You are Crystal
I've gone
Tom.
Crystal type. So I'm just saying.
I can't even see the glasses through the camera lens. Like just go straight to those eyes. So how about we start with Expedition?
Yeah, let's do it. So what sets Expedition apart from the WotC sets before it? Well, the design was the big thing, wasn't it? And why was the design done? It was so that you could read the cards with the Pokemon games, with the e-reader, and transfer some of that data across to your games. People originally, they weren't so hot on it, were they, when it first came out?
No, they weren't. No.
People are a bit like, oh, this is different. Don't know how I feel about this, but I think it's aged well, to be honest.
I think it's aged well, but I don't think it helped at the time. Pokemon was a bit of a decline anyway.
Yeah.
And then they went like full, okay, we're going to change it up entirely to try and get some momentum back our way. But in fact, it had the exact opposite effect. And anyone who was still into it just fell off, and they were like, well, I'm not interested anymore.
And this comes right off the heels of the Shining Pokemon as well.
Exactly. Just when they built some momentum, you could imagine it was like Hidden Fates, you know, when the Neo Destiny come out and people had come back into the hobby, and then they went, right, let's change everything because we're not doing as well as we was in 2000 and whenever, or 2000, I think exactly would be the right date. You know, let's just change everything. Let's do the E-Series. I think the concept was good.
Yeah, especially being able to, like, I've got a Pokemon card, I've got a Pokemon game. Boop.
Yeah,
and like smacking them together.
I don't think the games necessarily were seeing less popularity.
No.
So I can imagine the actual concept, and you know, I'm in the boardroom and I'm speaking about Pokemon ideas. I don't think it's a bad idea. I literally just think it was too much change too quickly. Maybe they could have introduced it as promos. You know, you can see that sort of different take on it instead of going, all your card set's different.
Yeah, I also think it was kind of hard to get e-readers.
Yeah. Okay.
And realistically, if you're spending Nintendo, anyone that's ever bought a Nintendo game, especially a Pokemon game, even secondhand, they never go down in price.
No.
So you're paying like 40, 50, 60 quid for a game, depending on what the RRP was when you come out, or pounds or dollars or whatever, and then you've got to go buy $4 packs, £3.50 packs to try and get more data into the game. It kind of, for a player, that kind of seems like a little bit EA. You've got a microtransaction, and you're like, this was before microtransactions were normal, so you'd probably be like, no, I'll just play the game a bit more.
And I think also, like, maybe Nintendo kind of didn't realize how many people were just playing the game and how many people were just into the TCG.
Yeah, they probably thought there was quite a bit of overlap, which I don't remember being. Like
I've played games, and I've collected the TCG.
Yeah.
Not very often at the same time.
Well, I mean, I used to play the game a lot, and I used to be in the gaming community for like Pokemon quite a bit.
Yeah.
None of them really played the game. The card game. We just opened a few packs, maybe at events when we met up.
Yeah.
Or maybe for like a one-off video or something. But no one actually did it competitively. And a lot of people I know play the TCG competitively, play the games once and then forget about it.
Yeah. No, I think because they're so broad, aren't they? As like, so why? I think we're totally right. I don't think people were buying the game and then buying loads of packs.
Yeah.
I don't think that was going on. I think they tried to do that, and you can see from Nintendo's point of view again, they were thinking, right, let's monetize all these card games. People love the games, or they love the TCG. Let's merge them together and make them buy the game and the TCG. But I think you're right. I think it just miffed some people off.
So what would we say the best card is from Expedition?
I mean, personally, I really love the Blastoise.
Yeah.
So the one where he's just underneath the...
looking menacing.
Yeah, I think that's... For Alligator's another good one. The Charizard's the obvious one. But we've done the Charizard tax video, so go and watch that.
Yeah,
if you
make
want us to
sure.
talk about Charizard.
Go check out the Charizard tax video.
What would you go with?
See, for Expedition, I
Big
always...
gulp.
I always think of the Japanese E1 sets instead, and again it'd be the Feraligatr, just because like that swimming towards the camera, looking a little bit like Jaws.
Yeah.
You're like, you're gonna kill me.
But there are some dead artworks in this set. And
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say the other Feraligatr. Do you remember that one?
I genuinely don't.
He's animated 3D, and he's got his mouth out. It's awful.
Is it the one where he's looking to the side, or am I thinking of a different Feraligatr card? I've literally just looked at a Feraligatr card from a Japanese one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was E1 though.
Yeah, okay. Well, either way,
yeah, I
anyone,
did enjoy it.
Expedition people, it's not. It's just an awful card. But I mean, it was also interesting. It's the base set, isn't it?
Yeah.
For E-Series. So what they did is they put the starters from Gen 1, and Venusaur's in there as well.
Yeah.
And they put the starters from Gen 2 in. So that they're again all their eggs in one
Pushing.
basket. Yeah, like they're like, come on, you must
want
love
this.
You want it. These are all your favorite Pokemon. Do not fail us. But I mean, Expedition back when it was first released was, a failure.
Yeah.
A
Well,
failure.
I mean, again, it came right after Shinings. They were secret rares. You had no kind of big chase, did you, in Expedition base set?
No, it's the hollows, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you want to speak a little bit about pricing, or do you want me to segue that into Aquapolis?
Let's talk a little bit about pricing, because then we can compare them all at the end. So, yeah.
Expedition, we're looking at the price chart. We're not going to put it up on the screen for you, but the hollows, excluding reverses, PSA 10s, have been somewhere in the like $5,000-6,000 mark for quite a while.
Yeah.
$5,000-6,000. And it's jumping up at the moment all the way up to $10,769, excluding the Skarmory. Now, that is because when we looked at the pop reports for Expedition, there isn't any cards.
Yeah, there's 6 in the world.
Yeah.
Which is, when you actually think about it, like 6 PSA 10 Skarmories in the world. It's kind of crazy again, because it's not a card necessarily you'd want to drop thousands on.
Oh, 100%.
Like, if it was the Blastoise population 6, like,
or the Charizard.
Yeah, like, but actually, but I'm not a big follower of Expedition because I don't own any, obviously. So when we did look through the pops, incredibly low.
Yeah.
Like, lower than Aquapolis, lower than Skyridge. And I kind of feel like it's because it wasn't a very well-loved set. So people, therefore, didn't keep them in their binders. They didn't keep them in great condition. And also, I believe they printed less of them.
Well, what about if you're scanning them in your e-reader?
Yeah.
It's going to damage the card, surely, right?
Yeah, that's not going to be a 10, is it? Because you're pushing it through a barcode. Yeah, I mean, I like Expedition as a set. From an investment point of view, you couldn't go and buy the set for $11,000 because the population is so low, and some sales have not happened before this uptick.
Yeah, well, this entire graph here that goes all the way back until like 2017, none of them include the Skarmory. The Skarmory just doesn't exist.
Yeah, but
for sale.
The Charizard last sale was $1,200 live. So just an example, I reckon that's easily a $5,000 card now.
Which is insane.
Yeah. So like, I don't think those numbers can be correct, and there's nothing wrong with the data. It's just the data's not there. So yeah, that's Expedition in a nutshell, really.
So let's segue that on. As I was going to with the secret rare Shinings, we go to secret rare crystal cards in Aquapolis.
So what they should have done with Expedition.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we had 9 crystal cards, I believe, total. Yep. In all of the Expedition sets. Now, in the Japanese sets, they split these across the 3 sets. You had 3 in each.
Yeah.
Whereas in the English sets, you had 3 in Aquapolis.
Yeah.
And then you had 6 in Skyridge. So
6 in the big boy.
Yeah. So we've got Aquapolis now. What do you think about Aquapolis? We'd already had the Expedition base set. We go on to the Underwater Kingdom set symbol.
It's personally my favourite set. As from the E-Series, there's only 3.
Yep.
I mean, I know Skyridge, massive in the Instagram community, and I know like Skyridge, like people love it because it's got great setup. True, it does, but Aquapolis for me is quite underrated. I think you're trying to find it now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just getting up the set list so we can double check as we're going through it. So just
I don't
carry
want
on
to say
talking.
the wrong things.
That's fine.
So the biggest example for me would be the Lugia Crystal.
Yeah,
I think apart from the Neo Genesis Lugia, it's probably the best looking Lugia outside of that.
Yep.
And then, well, we can see you've got the Nidoking and the Kingdra. I mean, do you know what I mean? Bit muck cards for me.
I mean,
like,
I really like some of the Nidoking artworks. I think
Yeah.
the Delta species Nidoking, actually. I know that you're a fan of Delta species. I think that's one of the coolest Nidokings ever, but neither of those stand out massively. You've obviously got some great holos in there. In the set.
So the dogs. I mean, I love the dogs, don't I? So the Raikou, the Entei Suicune, a beautiful card. And then
I love the Ampharos. And
Ampharos.
There's something about Ampharos, and I know it's in like every set ever for quite a while.
For Neo,
looks
it's in
cool.
3 of the 4 sets.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
But Ampharos is just a cool looking Pokemon, and I think it is an actually like well designed Pokemon. I know everyone hates on Pokemon designs all the blooming time. It's just a bag of rubbish. Yeah, but Ampharos is like a legitimately good design in like every respect, so I think that's pretty cool. The Sizzle.
Well, you know I love the Sizzle.
Sizzle's pretty good.
The other 2 I'd pick out with the dogs are the cats. So the Umbreon and the Espeon. Beautiful artworks. The Espeon, especially for me, coming right to the front of the card. I think there's a pathway or something in the background. Oh, goodness, my memory's awful. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful card. I would say Aquapolis as well. The contrast of colours. Like Expedition, red Charizard, red background. It's different with Aquapolis.
Yeah.
Like, at least they try and mix it up a little bit, which I appreciate. And if you're going to ask me what the favourite set art is, it's actually the Onyx. And if you haven't seen the card from Aquapolis, I'm not going to, you need to go and search Onyx Aquapolis. Beautiful card. Onyx is basically looking at a sunset.
I remember the card you're on about now.
Yeah, there you go.
You've showed it me. We've had it, I think, as a submission recently. You showed me that card relatively recently.
I submitted it.
You were, was it you?
Yeah, it was me.
And you were like, look at this, and I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I do like that.
I think I got 1 PSA 10 myself, and that's it. And I've got a load to grade. Hopefully.
You and your lowly 1 PSA 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so if we're looking at the pricing for Aquapolis, we've got this on holos, excluding the reverse holos. And back in 2018, we were looking at around $6,000, not including the Elekid or the Metal Energy because they just didn't exist there. Then we're kind of stable. We actually go down a bit in price to like the lower $5,000 up to 2019.
So I mean, also to compare this to WotC first editions,
Yeah.
they're slightly more expensive in general. Apart from base and Neo Destiny, apart from the standout sets, they're more expensive than Team Rocket, Fossil, Jungle at this moment, aren't they? And that's literally because the populations are lower and it's harder to find stock.
Yeah, like you can't go and find booster boxes of this very easily.
No.
Or packs.
No,
Like,
no,
I know
no.
some people value Skyridge packs as much as base set packs.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh my god, look at my Skyridge pack. I've seen that like multiple times.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like we do booster submissions. You don't see many Sky or E-Series packs in general.
Oh, you might do this month.
You might do.
You might do this month.
But even then, like, you'll see 10 base set packs or 10 Neo packs for every like Skyridge, Aquapolis, or Expedition pack you see.
No, agreed.
Um,
Do you think that's something to do with a lot of them were opened because they were chasing the crystals?
Oh, I definitely would have opened the packs had I had them.
Yeah.
Even now, if I had the pack in front of me, I'd be like, yeah, but I've got to open it.
I think the crystals was such a good design, and I feel like they were basically the victim of E-Series, weren't they? I think there was a path there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because the E-Series ended up being dire, and they had to cut it. They had to cull it, didn't they? Basically, pretty quickly. The whole working with the games and stuff just didn't work. So they had to move forward to the next bit, which is EX Series. And you can see why why the crystals, they could have had something to happen in EX Series. Like, that was the hunt. The Charizard, again, we speak about. But a load of people love that card. It was an interesting card, actually, about 2-3 years ago, because the price went astronomically high, and then it dropped by like $3,000, which back then was a lot. Back now, it's not, so according to Pokemon prices. But back then, it was literally $5,000, then $2,000 in a matter of months, which hadn't been seen before in terms of Pokemon. Having that level of, volatility. Big words. Ooh,
big words. Big words from Matt Grady Groudon. And then, so we've got the most recent set sale. So this doesn't include the Elekid or the Metal Energy either. And the total for that was $13,592. So it's gone up by nearly 200%.
Yeah, and again, I think there will be cards in there which haven't sold post this COVID New World.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's probably closer to 20.
Yeah, I mean, that Elekid is pretty cool. I think I've seen the Metal Energy in the last few days writing it up, actually, for a pre-grade. Again, it's a cool card. It's cool to have the Hollow Energies. Everyone who knows anything about what I like to collect knows that all of the energy cards is my next thing. I love energy cards. But they're hard to grade. Do you remember like all of What's the Energy Hollows, like Rainbow Energy? They're very hard to grade.
Miracle Energy, very difficult. They're all difficult. The energy cards, because they have so much hollow, very easy to scratch any little bit. The Metal Energy from Neo Genesis actually is probably the most difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, like the energies are cool. Like the population's again incredibly low, but again it's because they weren't popular back then.
Yeah.
Would we derive some popularity for the E series just due to the fact of lack of supply?
I think so. I think especially in the UK, I don't remember. Like when I was younger, I remember opening a lot of Pokemon cards. I don't remember seeing many of these packs like available anywhere.
Do you think, like, instead of people thinking of the fondness of WotC, you know how you think, and you have the sentimental reasons. E-Series isn't necessarily sentimental reasons. They're literally buying it because it is old.
Yeah.
And there's not much stuff out there. So therefore, that like just because there's not a lot of it out there, it warrants a demand. Does that, you kind of get where I'm going?
Yeah,
with that?
like the rarity is the enjoyment in it.
Yeah, it's not actually necessarily like the sets are cool.
It's not nostalgia.
Yeah, you're not going, oh, I'm going to buy this Expedition base set box because it's nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I picked up these Blastoise when I was a kid because it was slated on when it came out.
People didn't love it.
No, and I'm going to guess there are going to be people who disagree, and that is fine. Please say in the comments. We love disagreements, actually.
Yeah.
That's basically the most fun part. Should we? What else should we say about Aquapolis? Is there anything else to say?
I don't think so. I don't think there's too much to say. I mean, we could have a quick look at the Truer section here at the bottom of Bulbapedia, which is literally it's there's nothing there apart from it once held the most cards of any English set until the release of Lost Thunder. So the set was blooming massive with 150 cards in it, including the 3 secret rares. But I think what we could do now is move on to the one with a Crystal Charizard, Skyridge.
The big boy set from E-Series.
And not just the big boy set from E-Series, the death of WotC Pokemon.
Yeah.
This was the end of an era, literally.
Yeah.
This was the end of the WotC era. We moved then onto Nintendo and the Pokemon Company owning everything. The big conglomerate machine that it is.
Yeah, they moved away from what, and the crazy thing is, Skyridge is necessarily more valuable than any of the other WotC sets outside of base first.
Yeah,
like you could, I would say it's more valuable than Neo Destiny first.
Yeah, well, it's the final set.
Yeah,
like it's always the first and the last things that are remembered. You don't get remembered for coming in 5th.
And yet, the hollows in Skyridge. I mean, in comparison to Aquapolis, I'm not a big fan. The Gyarados is a beauty. You know, you see how he's like got his gills out, hasn't he? And he's like in attack mode. But some of the awful ones, Macargo.
Right, Macargo.
Dugong.
Macargo. It just gets too much love everywhere.
Piloswine.
I don't understand Macargo. Macargo has been in every like GX. It has like 1 million of every kind of big card. I don't understand the love for Macargo. Someone please explain that to me down below. We do have the Flareon.
Flareon's nice.
I mean, it's not a light Flareon.
No, I mean...
But it's still cool. There is an Arcanine. I can't actually remember what the Arcanine looks like. I'm just loading that up now.
He's okay.
Oh, he's a bit windswept. Yeah, he's nothing special.
I am not a massive fan of the Skyridge normal hollows. I love the crystals, but I don't actually... I'm not a big fan of the artwork. I actually prefer Aquapolis and Expedition, which sounds really bad.
I'm looking through a few of these, and I'm like, the
Either-
Umbreon. The Umbreon's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to make the Umbreon look bad.
True.
Like, I don't know many bad Umbreon cards.
Yeah, okay.
You agree?
I'm going to agree with you. Looking through this now.
Like, they're just a bit.
Kupuops is okay. No, Alakazam. I love Alakazam as a Pokemon, so...
That's
okay,
sick.
That looks absolutely...
Alakazam is banging.
We love that. Gengar, if you've made Gengar look bad, then... Nah, Gengar's cool.
That's not the hollow version, I don't think. Is it? Oh, it is actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, H9.
Yeah.
Also, why did they name the hollows with H's in E-Series? That's something that's always annoyed me. But I'm just going to ignore it.
Would have been better if it was S. Shinies. That's what we used to call them as kids, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing with these E-Series is that they have the hollows and then they have all the non-hollows like together in the next lot. Like if you go H1 and then 1. Do you know? I don't know. I'm not... I don't know. Skyridge, the reason why Skyridge has all its value is because of the lack of supply and because of those crystals for me.
It has 6 crystal cards.
Yeah.
So we have the Celebi, the Charizard, the Crobat, the Golem, the Ho-Oh, and the Kabutops, which, first of all, it's a very, very, very weird mix of cards that we've got. Overall, for the crystals, we've got 9 crystals. We've got a Kingdra.
Yeah.
We've got a Golem.
Yeah.
A Crobat. What? I get Kabutops. Kabutops is a cool card because you only get it from a fossil in the game. Like, there's a rarity to getting a Kabutops. Ho-Oh's a legendary. Charizard's a starter. Celebi, legendary. Lugia's a legendary.
Even Crobat. Like, what is, like...
I don't understand.
I feel like we're going to get slated. I don't know. I really like the crystals and the design. And I feel like maybe there was a further plan than this for E-Series.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it was the fact that they were going to introduce all those different Pokemon, all the Gen 1, Gen 2, eventually as crystals over 5 years. If this was popular and that was the way that Pokemon was going to evolve, maybe that was the plan. They didn't want to chuck out every single... They wouldn't have known this was only going to be 3 TCG sets.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So they don't want to chuck out every top tier card as a crystal because then that would be the end of those sets. Although then again, I would argue that there's a potential chance for another set if you did do it.
Yeah.
It's
so for
the
example,
irony.
For example, if we had a big Blastoise and a strong-looking Venusaur crystal, maybe a Mewtwo crystal, which sounds awesome. Someone Photoshop that. That sounds cool.
Do you also... the thing is with the Expedition, Aquapolis, and Skyridge, sealed, they look beautiful.
Oh, the Skyridge packs.
Yeah.
The bright emerald green kind of... You can see that when you walk into a shop, not because it's directly in your eye line in front of you, but because it's blinding the rest of the shop in this emerald glow.
Well, the booster box is just amazing, isn't it? Like you say, it's got that glow off it.
It looks like a Minecraft grass block.
Exactly. And maybe... and if you compare that to, like, the WotC boxes... They're not. The E-Series takes it up a level. For sure.
The only WotC booster box that I really like as a booster box is Fossil because it's like got the danger, keep out, and it looks like it's going to be excavated. The other ones are just a little bit. Yeah, they follow the theme of the set, but
there's no imagination there.
No.
Whereas I think with these 3 sets, Expedition included, even though they did just whack a Charizard on it, but like but at least they had they had the glossy colours.
Yeah.
And maybe again, this is the reason, the lack of supply and the fact they are so shiny, as basic as that is, and that they did take it up to the next level. Then maybe that is a reason why the sealed packs and the sealed boost boxes became so desirable. Because they just look great. Could you imagine if we had a Skyridge just booster box sitting in the middle? It would look brilliant on the camera.
Yeah.
And how good would that be to take out your cellophane case and look at? From a Pokemon collector point of view, that excites me.
Yeah.
To look at, I'm not a sealed collector. I probably would have kept Aquapolis and Skyridge sealed.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Like, and I'm not the kind of person who collects for like long term either. I like to collect because I like the idea of hunting.
Yeah,
that's not just Pokemon based. That's in general. As soon as I've finished something, I'm like, finish now, next thing. But I think with something like that, it just it's more like
a prize.
It's a centerpiece. It's a trophy.
No, 100%.
Especially with the blooming prices of them.
But I mean, even take the prices away.
Yeah.
But there was a reason why they were more expensive than the WotC first editions, because they just look so darn good in the very basics of it. So like I know that I've slagged off a bit of the Skyridge hollows. Just try and look past that because like Skyridge overall, the sealed packs and the sealed boost box, where I think most of the value is, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like I would say a sealed boost pack is even further more expensive and valuable than the cards, than even a card to a WotC booster pack. Does that make any sense?
No, your maths is very strange.
My maths is strange. But
I kind of get the concept.
You get the concept.
A little bit, maybe.
And the, and the sets were huge as well.
Yeah. They're literally blooming massive. There's 150 cards here without the hollows.
Yeah, when we were looking at like 80 in WotC in general. Like, in general. 102 obviously in base.
I think we need to talk about the crystal artworks now.
Okay, right. Let's dissect them.
Celebi. I love Celebi as a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Therefore, I love the crystal Celebi. I think it's my favourite looking Celebi card. No, my favourite looking crystal card. Especially
to be
from
fair,
Skyridge.
I can't think of a better Celebi.
Yeah.
I do like that Celebi.
That little spring onion.
Yeah, the spring onion, to be fair, he is good. The Charizard is classic.
I mean, the crystal Charizard, I'm going to have an opinion here.
Oh.
I think that card looks really cool in the actual hollow part, but because all the crystal cards are normal type, right? They're like colorless. I don't know if I like the white background on the crystal Charizard. Like, I love the actual Charizard art.
Yeah.
Just wish there was something else going on in the background of like the rest of the card.
Do you feel like he's too close up? But then again, they messed up on the Shining Charizard, didn't they? Because obviously it's just like a fatty Charizard.
Yeah, like
flying away.
I like the top third. Like, I like the bit with the Charizard in it. But I don't know. Charizard being like orange doesn't work against a white background for me. There's something about the color clash that I don't like. If that card background was like a more bluey color, I think if the crystal cards were more blue, like to do with like a crystal rather than the clear kind of crystal I went for. Yeah, I like the art. I don't like the background. For some reason, it clashes with Charizard for me. I know the actual Charizard art's sick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
So then we're gonna go on to the Crobat,
which is actually pretty sick.
I mean, Crobat here looks cool.
Yeah.
But I hate Zubat, Golbat, and Crobat. They can all die.
Okay, yeah, but that's from a personal opinion. Like, but in terms of like, for a Crobat,
I would not collect if this card was in Radiant Collection. I would not collect it on purpose.
Yeah, but like, if for a Crobat, they've done that darn well.
Yeah,
you have to admit that. Like, it's a Crobat.
I think the Crobat looks better on the background, the white background, than Charizard does because it's a purple.
Yeah.
I think that color works really well.
Contrast works better. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, another thing about crystal cards, they weren't very good to play.
Well, they're not very playable.
No, so in obviously the Shinings, you could only use one of those per deck.
Okay.
If you should know that you collected all the Shinings. You could only have one of the Shining cards per deck.
I collected them. I didn't play them.
Whereas these, you could have as many as you wanted. There weren't a restriction. There weren't a legal restriction on it. But the problem is, so usually for a deck, you probably wouldn't have 3 lots of energy in a deck, like 3 different energy cards.
Okay, I'm trying to stay with you. Carry on.
And so the crystal type Pokemon, they had 3 energies that you needed to play with, and their effects for the cost weren't very good.
Okay, so they actually weren't very playable at all.
Yeah, from what I can see, like looking at them here, like if we open the Golem, we're going to go onto the Golem. If you look, you're using 3 minimum different types of energy there for his main attack. So you're using a fire, a leaf, and I think fighting. I can't exactly tell because it's quite far away. The card, however, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great looking Golem, isn't it?
Like, it is a pretty good looking Golem.
They've nailed that, haven't they? Absolutely nailed it.
It's absolutely terrifying is what it is.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You can see where they were going with them. Like, you could... What they were trying to elevate these normal Pokemon. So, alongside the legendaries, they were trying to elevate them. The Ho-Ho, I'm not a massive fan of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the Ho-Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because I just like Ho-Oh, but I also I like any Pokemon card. I've figured this out since doing, especially like in the past like couple of months doing all the pre-grades and stuff. Well, like since I've come like kind of full-time with Graded Gem. Every Pokemon that is directly coming towards the camera, if you imagine that you are the camera, like imagine coming to the front of the card, I like, and because it's like kind of swooping towards you, I'm kind of like,
I think it's the biggest chicken-looking Ho-Oh I've seen. So that
is that why you don't like it?
Yeah, I think.
But you'd like chickens?
No, I don't.
You would like to keep chickens?
I would keep chickens for eggs. That would be nice. Yeah, I don't know. There are better Ho-Ohs out there. It's not a bad art.
Yeah.
It's just there's better ones out there.
I also like the fact it's got like. Have you ever heard of the Peruvian lions, or the Nazca lines? So there's massive lines in the desert that you can only see from a plane, which were done obviously a long time before planes were a thing, and they're like rough sketches out of things like a spider, a man, like huge things in the desert, and it's got what looks to be a Ho-Oh there,
right?
which is
So
kind
that's
of imitating
what it is. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. get it.
Little bit of random geographical knowledge for you there, and historical knowledge maybe, I guess, because it was done before planes, therefore at least 10 years ago.
Kabutops has the biggest population of the crystals.
Does it?
Actually, just a fact in general is the crystals have larger populations than the hollows.
I'm not surprised.
Which is not normal.
No,
Don't
it's
get me
not
wrong.
normal, but
No,
we've
no, it
already
is normal.
said the hollows are they suck.
it is normal, but they're considerably more.
Oh, okay.
Like, so we're not talking like a little bit more. I don't know whether it's literally the fact because, I mean, you got to remember a lot. PSA submitting happened 3-4 years ago, so it wouldn't necessarily been worthwhile to submit a PSA 8 or a PSA 9 worthy Skyridge Hollow.
Yeah,
But it would be for a crystal, so therefore you just have a larger supply of those cards going through PSA, and therefore you increase your population.
we've already said a lot of the hollows suck.
That's maybe that's another reason as well. Like the literal fact that the hollows didn't look great, whereas the crystals did. So therefore, people like kept the hollows away.
What do you think about the Kabutops art? Because I think it's blooming sick.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
I think like Kabutops is a cool Pokemon anyway, having the kind of like crazy bone claws.
Yeah.
But the way he's standing there makes him look a little bit more, like
Offensive.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
Wonder Woman villain.
Yeah.
Or something like a superhero villain.
I don't think any of the crystals are
Supervillain?
bad. I just think you have to compare them to each other.
Yeah, I don't think the Crobat holds up. I think even the Kingdra and the
the reason
other
why
one from Aquapolis.
the reason why I said
Nidoking,
about
about
Ho-Ho is because if we look at the Lugia now,
Yeah.
so if you now look at this Lugia and you compare it to
Lugia.
the Ho-Oh, which is what it's supposed to be,
It's
compared
mirror.
to, yeah, it's mirror. Like the art on the, you know what? I should have just gone ahead and bought one of these because I really wanted one. I just wanted the Lugia. I didn't want anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the sort of artwork I wanted, really. And
see
that's-
that for me, I think that's like the difference between us there. I prefer Ho-Oh over Lugia, and I think that's what I'm seeing in this
Yeah,
card as well. I'm
okay.
like, yeah, I mean it's cool, but
It's
it's not
fine
coming
away.
towards the camera
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
as
Okay.
well. I don't get to see Lugia's face. I don't get to
No.
see him like swooping in and doing an attack. Instead, it looks like he might be just yeeting away from something.
Yeah, but it's the first Lugia card we've got to see his entire body.
Yeah, yeah,
Because actually, a lot of the other cards are as you've.
yeah.
Described
Those are
there.
the ones I like.
Yeah, those are all, that. Maybe that's the reason why I like this Lugia in particular because it is different to the other Lugias. Because even later on the EX series, is it?
You've-
My Pokemon
It's gone out
knowledge.
of your head.
Eh,
It's gone.
Unseen Forces, I think, is right next to the camera.
I just like the big old full art Lugias because I think anyone where he looks like he's
Lugia EX
Boom.
from Plasma. That's a stunning card. But yeah,
Did
anyway.
that excite you?
Oh, I love that card.
I saw the like lust in your eyes after that. Then
It's a good card.
Nidoking. So we're on the Aquapolis Hollows now. We started with Lugia. Nidoking, as I said, man, I love Nidoking.
Yeah, aggressive, powerful.
It's Mayfair or like whatever the most expensive property is in Pokemon Monopoly.
Yeah.
So this can end a game
Yeah.
on a single land as well. There's a lot of things to love about Nidoking. I think the Crystal card kind of works for him. Again, same reason for Crobat. I mean, it's not the coolest Pokemon on the planet, but it's purple, and it looks good against the
Well,
background.
it's the aggression of the Pokemon there.
Yeah.
I like the aggressive art sometimes because I think instead of just being the normal drawing of a Pokemon,
Yeah,
it's good to see them when like they battle.
yeah, 100%.
That's
Though
the
I
whole
don't think he
point.
looks like he's battling. I think he looks more like a DJ, a rather aggressive nightclub.
Okay,
is
yeah.
how I see that.
He's like, boof.
Yeah. I'm imagining like massive DJ headphones on him.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If I was gonna edit
He's got
more into this
huge
video, I'd do
ears
it.
actually.
He does have big ears.
I didn't realize that until you actually really look at the
He does have
artworks.
massive
In comparison
ears.
to the rest, it's almost as big as his face. The ears are, like they're huge. Anyway, nothing wrong with having big ears, isn't that right, Tom?
Yep, it's perfectly fine. And then we've got the Kingdra. And the Kingdra for me is just the weirdest inclusion because
That's a bit
it looks more like a Seadra.
Mm,
Like it doesn't look aggressive enough to be a Kingdra. Every Kingdra art you've seen, like the proper original Sugimari art for the game, etc. It's all quite aggressive. This Kingdra is really placid.
it's the 3D model again,
Yeah.
and those are the ones. Like I said, the hollows I don't like are the 3D model. Like they don't look good in general.
No, it's not
the-
great.
No, I mean, I can sometimes see why they did it because like they're trying to move on to the next You know, because all of the Pokemon card arts before were all very same. Like, if you didn't know what sets were from what and the set symbols weren't there, sure, you could say fossils were in base were in jungle. Do you know what I mean? Whereas they were trying to differentiate in these artworks.
Yeah.
I don't think it works with the 3D modeling. Not on these cards.
No, there are some like brand new cards or like after What's It era 3D cards where you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
But it just didn't smack, did it? It didn't hit. It didn't
really.
bang. It didn't do the thing that we expected it to do. Shall we have a quick look at Skyridge prices and cry ourselves to sleep?
Do we have to?
I don't want to.
Right, so
but we will.
Just a little story on Skyridge. Even when I started this, 3-4 years ago, like collecting, I wouldn't have been able to get Skyridge. Like, not even from a value point of view, just the fact I couldn't acquire it.
It didn't exist. It wasn't on the market.
You had to be in my position then.
Yeah.
Like, you had to be fully trusted. They'd want to know who you are. Because also, why would you open up a load of Skyridge packs or something like that?
No, exactly. They're beautiful, beautiful packs. So some of the data we got here. So on the 1st of December 2017, this set without the Ho-Oh.
Yeah,
I'm going to presume that's
crystals.
the crystal Ho-Oh there, was $13,608.
Yeah.
In 2017.
So that's double most of the WotC first edition sets.
Which is absolutely bonkers. Let's be honest about that. Just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And then we've got this big old number here in 2018, April 2018, $18,000.
So what would have contributed to this is big collectors in the scene at the time were all trying to complete Skyridge PSA 10s as quickly as possible. It was a lot like Legendary Collection reverses.
Oh.
Remember how I said like there was literally only 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
But they were, especially on the low pop items, they were bidding them to obscene amounts of money for the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably fine now. And for the time, there was obscene amounts of money, and it was a very similar story in Skyridge.
Yeah, so after that, it died off a little bit. It went down to the 14,000s, the 13,000s, and then in the past year, you've been able to get all of them, according to the sales data on PokemonPrice.com, for around $11,000.
So that is actually a massive loss.
Yeah.
Like, for Pokemon, I can't think of another set.
Well, you've lost a third of the price straight away.
And what other sets ever done that? What other set have we looked at that's done that? None.
Crimson Invasion sealed product. But other than that,
Team Rocket First Edition went down by $1,000.
Yeah.
And I said that was unusual. That's gone down by $7,000 from its peak. Like pre this COVID thing. That's pretty huge. It's a massive indicator. And maybe people were falling away from Skyridge.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that the collectors maybe wanted to get out the game, cash in. Those collectors, because that was a good few years ago. Things change. People have children or want a new house or a new car, and $11,000 is still $11,000.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But a lot of people are obviously selling at that 17 to 15,000, and they were happy to sell at that point.
Yeah.
So, and then that's why not prices crash, but that's why the prices depreciate quite a bit.
And then we go a little bit further. Then we go up to like the most recent sales data, which is
1st of May.
1st of May, and this is the big number, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
$26,000.
Yeah, which is a massive number, but I'm not actually gonna. That's not huge in terms of a percentage increase.
No, I mean from 11,000 it is.
From 11,000 for sure,
which is like the last year's data. But if you compare it to its peak, which was a couple of years ago, nah.
Which exactly. Which is I think what we have done in the other ones is we compared its peak.
Yeah.
But that is mainly because most of its peaks happened in late 2019 for sure. So it's a lot easier to go. There's its peak. Oh wait, it's gone up 2-3 times more. Whereas it's different with Skyridge because its peak was a year or two earlier.
Yeah.
I think for an investor, like forget a collector, take someone like me out the equation who's going to keep it. For an investor, Skyridge is perfect.
Oh, 100%.
Like low populations, we've already said the sealed product takes your eye. The actual crystal cards, the Charizard in there, like Skyridge is perfect from a purely financial instrument. It's perfect.
You'll also never get crystal cards again.
Yeah.
Crystal cards died with Skyridge. WotC died with Skyridge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might not be able to afford a base set first edition booster box or the cards as like the PSA 10s as an investor, but you might be able to afford Skyridge. If you can't have the first, have the last.
Yeah.
There are so many things that like ended with Skyridge. The original art style, the original obviously producer of the cards, the crystal cards, whereas we still have Shinings. We had Shining Legends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We had Hidden Fate, Shiny Vault. We haven't seen Crystal since. They've never come back.
No. Well, they potentially could.
They could.
Like, let's not say it's
But,
impossible. But, like, they brought the Shinings back, like you said.
Yeah, but in the past, like, 20 years, we haven't seen them come back.
No. I don't...
Or 19 years, whatever it was since we lost Watsy.
The reason why I don't think they will ever come back is because there wasn't... One, there wasn't many of them. And two...
There wasn't much love.
No, there was... Not at the time.
At the time.
There is now, but I don't think Pokemon looks at... Maybe they do. Maybe they look at now times and go, well, the crystals are popular now. Maybe we should update a set with them. I don't know.
But the crystals were so weird as well because shining Pokemon came from the chance of getting a shiny in a game, which was like 1 in 8,000 chance.
Yeah.
And everyone wanted that 1 in 8,000 chance. And if you could get it for a 1 in 300 chance in a booster pack,
yeah,
cool. What was a crystal Pokemon? Like, it wasn't a thing.
That's very true, actually. It's not actually something I would have thought of before, but yeah, it was literally created for
The game,
the TCG. It wasn't something that was in Pokemon games, and there's no relatable material to it. I'm guessing it's not really in the anime, is it?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so off the top of my head either. They were just a different sort of TCG card art with normal Pokemon in them.
Yeah, I think I think even if you look at the new stuff, like the VMAX, that's Gigantamax Pokemon. We actually saw a Gigantamax Pokemon very, very early on in the TCG. The big Dragonite with the lighthouse.
Yeah, that's true.
Did I say in the TCG? I definitely meant in the anime.
Yeah, in the anime, yeah.
But yeah, I don't like as a person who prefers the games over anything else. Like all of my memories are with the games, and that's what makes me love Pokemon as much as I do. I don't care about Crystal Pokemon.
Yeah, from definitely from a point of view, from no one opened these packs, like no one. Yeah, I mean you can definitely just see how there's no reasoning to love them, is there? Yeah, they're cool cards and they're cool artworks, but do they actually have any significance? Maybe not as much so. Do you know? E-Series is a very weird time, and it's also quite. People either love or hate.
Yeah, the Marmite of Pokemon.
Yeah, I would say so. And there's a lot of love for E-Series out there. And I definitely do love parts of E-Series.
Yeah.
Like the Sealed especially, beautiful. And the Crystal, Lugia, and, other bits. But there are also bits where I think, well, they lacked. They just didn't do it right there. And the Expedition with no crystals, for instance. The half-assed artwork on some of the holos. Like, it just almost seems like, oh, we'll put out popular Pokemon from Gen 1, Gen 2. And just try and milk the cow a bit longer.
Yeah. Horrific saying, but yeah.
Yeah.
Made me feel a little bit ill. So yeah, I think good for an investor, good for a collector if you're one of the very into E-Series kind of people.
Yeah, I'm just jealous that I don't have any.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Behind me, I would like a sealed Expedition pack. I nearly went E1 then. I've been doing the Japanese cards. Expedition, Aquapolis Skyridge pack in like a little frame. That'd look sick. But neither of us are collectors, so obviously our opinions are quite of the E-Series.
Yeah, I was like, I'm definitely a collector.
You know what I mean? Of these specific cards that we're talking about. So I think we are kind of biased against it, but
I don't think it's against. I would say maybe it's the perspective outside of the E-Series bubble. Yeah. Like, if you're within E-Series and you're collecting it, you love it.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, I have the same appeal to Neo Destiny. Like, you can literally tell me Neo Destiny is the worst set, and I'll be like, no, it's not. So, like, I get it. I totally get it. If you're in that E-Series bubble, you know where...
The Shining Charizard doesn't look cool, though. I'm just saying.
It's a bad-looking Charizard. I mean, that's just the case. Not even I can defend that. But, like, if you have that sealed product, you've got those PSA 10s.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and lucky you. Like, the populations are low.
Lucky.
Lucky and low. They're lucky and low. Well, you do have to get lucky to get them, maybe. Skarmory, if you've got that card in a PSA 10 and you're a collector, wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll be, if you've got an Expedition PSA 10 set, that will be the pride of your collection. And I fully respect that, in general.
Yeah.
And if you've got those sealed boxes and you're in the scene for E-Series or maybe you're an investor and you're just gone E-Series is where I want to land my money. You can see why there's a lot of good in E-Series.
Yeah, I think if you're investing, the sealed promo stuff where we said it's so beautiful as well. It's also impossibly hard to get a hold of, so you're definitely going to make money because, if you can get a hold of that, someone's going to want to buy it, and they've got nowhere else to buy it from. You are in complete control of the supply at that point.
Yeah, and I would, there's less of those booster boxes around.
Yeah,
like if you got a Skyridge, but I don't think anyone's got a case of Skyridge. If I'm being
don't look in my pocket.
No,
yeah,
it
just doesn't exist.
Whereas there's potentially people out there with cases of Team Rocket, Fossil, and Jungle First Edition.
Yeah,
like that's definitely the case. Whereas with Skyridge and E-Series, I don't think the investor part of collectors got into E-Series at the time, and you had to buy a case worth. You had to buy the case for £600.
Yeah,
otherwise, or $600 or whatever you want to say, at the time, and I don't think that happened at the time.
I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have from a business aspect as well, like the kind of shops that were selling cards. I don't think they would have done it because this wasn't at a time really where those businesses were booming. From what I remember, like I remember video game sales. Video game sales in the early 2000s were the thing that killed everything. Like they were the industry that kids were in.
Well, Pokemon was floundering at this point. After Neo Destiny, it started to flounder. Like the TCGs in general were losing their shine for sure. So that's just, and there was more competition in the marketplace for one, but two, the kids had left school. Like we would have left school at this point, or would we? No, we wouldn't.
Definitely not.
No, I wouldn't.
We were like 7, 8 years old.
Okay, but maybe they grew out of it.
Well, I think I was getting into. I want to say it was Beyblades. It might have been something previous to Beyblades.
It was Beyblades,
but I was getting into something where it was more doing something physical.
Because as you get older, you want to do more activities, and also maybe you didn't have this sway with your parents anymore to make them buy you a full.
Yeah, no, I couldn't cry because my mom would just look at me like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, exactly. Your parents are just like, "You're old enough, go get a job somewhere." What? I'm 13. Give me a break. You know what I mean?
You were 13 when E-Series came out.
No, I'm just I'm making you know what I mean? I'm making generalizations.
Connor is now only 14. There's so many jokes. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up our opinions on E-Series. I think there are some beautiful cards.
Yeah.
I think there are some not so beautiful cards. And I'm not massively invested in it. You're not massively invested in it.
No, so we're trying to give a non-biased point of view. Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing for investors, and if you love it, collect it.
Yeah,
if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can, then go for it. If it's something that you want to collect, whether it's Expedition Low Pops or Skyridge, the big boy Skyridge, there is a lot of attraction there. There's a reason why there's so many collectors of it.
What questions shall we give to the audience for this episode of Trading Card Talk?
I think actually, if you've got this far, we'd really like some topic suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we are going to continue to do this every Monday.
Yeah.
Outside of submissions, returns, and the rest of it. We are going to continue to do this series. We've now decided it was going to be a month thing, I think, originally.
Yeah, originally it was going to be a month thing, and then we realised this gets views.
Yeah.
That was the main reason we like to do it. But we also just like chatting about Pokemon cards.
I think it's a nice environment. You get to see the background. We get to chat for an hour because we don't chat during the day. Just
glare at each other.
We'd really appreciate actually some topic suggestions, and don't do something that's so niche that it's not going to be worthwhile.
What is your favourite Zoroark card?
Like try and think of something that's like a bit more out there for sure.
Yeah.
But a challenging question as well.
Yeah, and maybe keep it kind of early Nintendo and Pokemon Company era. Like if you can, think of something along that lines, because we don't want to go straight. I know we did Sword and Shield as an outlier, but we started off at early base set. We moved on to the end of Watsu.
Yeah.
Now let's see what the next step is, but let's not just have a really generic, easy question. Give us a topic that's going to challenge us a little bit, because Connor knows a lot more about this era, this following era. You've collected things like Delta Species. And stuff like Fire Red Leaf Green and Prime and stuff like that. So give us something where we can where we can try and give you a little bit more information as well, because we've tried to give you as much as we could about E-Series. Obviously, the people who know E-Series like the back of their hand can probably go into crazy detail.
This topic definitely would have been one to have a guest on.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, this topic would have definitely been to have someone who's in E-Series who we could have argued against.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely the case.
Because for once we've agreed.
Yeah. No, it would have been nice to have someone who's in the E-Series, like, collecting scene and to really hammer home their points as well. Because there's going to be people who disagree with us, and that's totally fair enough. But, yeah, give us some suggestions for what you want to watch. And then otherwise, guys, more submission videos, more returns. There's a video a week.
A video a week?
A video a day.
A video a week?
Even
that means
better.
I don't have to edit that much, guys and girls. You've heard it here first. No, it's a video a day. Yeah.
Yes, a video a day. So stay tuned for that. And if you're not subscribed and you got this far, what are you doing?
Press that blooming subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell. Like the video. Leave a comment down below on your topics. And also, what is your favourite E-Series card? And your least favourite E-Series card?
Yeah. Umbreon and... No! Parasect.
There we go. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.